Have you ever felt taken advantage of by your clients? Do you ever feel like they just keep demanding and demanding things from you and you're kind of starting to hate them? This is for you. Stay tuned. Hey there, my name is Esme. I'm a business coach and strategist, and I specialize in helping entrepreneurs sell, serve, and scale by setting smart strategies, systems, and revenue streams. One of the smartest strategies you can set in your business is just a simple set of boundaries. Clients are like toddlers. They're going to want to just keep demanding more and more and more. They're going to keep pushing until they get to the point where they hit a boundary. They don't mean to be this way, but clients want to get what they pay for. And in their mind, that's going to be completely different from what you think they should get for what they are investing in your services or in your advice. So clients will just keep pushing and pushing and try to get a little bit more out of you than what they are necessarily due to get in their contract or in the proposal that you have given them. It is up to you to tell them no. It is up to you to have boundaries in place for each possible scenario. So when a client says, oh, could you just do this for me? You can say, I can, but it's going to cost you extra because that falls out of the scope of our work together. It is so easy for those of us who are service providers, who are coaches, who are consultants, to just keep giving more and more to our clients because we want to be of service. That's why we got into the service industry. We want to be of service. So we give them more than what they're paying for. We go above and beyond. We answer email in the middle of the night. We get projects back to them in an unreasonable amount of time. If a client comes to you with a last minute request and you are not saying, yes, I can do this, and I can do this in this time frame. However, it is going to cost you extra. It's your fault that they keep sending you last-minute requests because clients are like toddlers. They're going to keep pushing and pushing, and they're going to stop pushing only when you tell them no and when you set that boundary. In your business, your boundaries are your responsibility. Nobody other than you can set a boundary. It is also on you to enforce them because without having enforcement policies in place for your boundaries, it doesn't matter that you have them. They are useless unless they are enforced. Some good ideas for boundaries that I have had to create in my business as a result of demanding clients are things like revisions. If a client needs to go backwards in a project, then we can do that. We can totally go back in time and make a change about something they already agreed to, but it is going to cost them more money. I am happy to make changes at any point, no matter what a client has already agreed to, because I want them to be happy. I want them to be satisfied with the work that they're getting. However, going back in a project costs me time and it costs me money, especially if I have any contractors that I'm working with. So to go back and change something that they already agreed to now costs money. I do this with a series of revision points and sign-offs in my business. So each project is broken down into phases and a client has to make a choice and then they sign off on that choice and then we move on to the next phase of the project. When I didn't have this built in, oh my gosh, did I get taken advantage of. I had one client in particular who had 14 different revisions on one shade of color. 14! This made the project take so much longer, and I was starting to get resentful because I just wanted to move on to the next phase. I wanted to get the project wrapped up, and I wanted to get it over for testing. Now that also brings me to why boundaries are important for you. And it's really so you get better at what it is you do. So you are a better web designer or video editor or yoga teacher, whatever it is you're doing. Boundaries will make you better at it. When you don't have boundaries, you're going to start to get resentful of your clients. You're going to feel like your clients are taking advantage of you. And they probably are, but it's not their fault. It's your fault for not having any boundaries in place. But you are not going to process it that way. You're going to process this feeling of resentment for your client, not for your lack of boundaries or your lack of professional setup in your business, because nobody wants to admit that they're doing something that isn't working for them, or they're doing something that's wrong and not in the best interest of their business. So your brain is going to blame your clients. You're not going to do a good job with them. You're not going to be as professional, as kind, as courteous. You're going to put their projects on the absolute back burner. You're going to wait until the absolute last minute until you deliver something for them. You're not going to be as good as if you just had boundaries in the first place and you didn't allow that feeling of resentment to develop. I'm saying this with love and from experience. I've definitely been through all different phases of emotions towards my clients. I've been in business for, pains me to think about this, almost 20 years now. I started doing websites professionally in the 90s. And over the years, I've had clients that I've been completely in love with and clients that I've absolutely resented and never wanted to see again. Every time that I've had a client that I resented, if I took an honest look at it, I was the problem, not the client. It was my lack of boundaries, my lack of professionalism in my business, and it was my habit of doing things in my business that were not in the best interest of my business that led to that feeling of resentment. So believe me when I tell you, this is from a place of love and understanding. Now, what do you do about it? I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper, and I want you to think about all the different times that you've been feeling either unhappy with a client or resentful towards a client. And I want you to be completely objective and look at what is it that you did that allowed this situation to progress to the point that it is at. Maybe you are enabling your clients to contact you at unreasonable hours. Maybe you are enforcing unreasonable turnaround times. Get very clear on what it is that you're doing in your business that is allowing this sort of situation to either continue or to keep happening, and then make a boundary around that situation. So for example, if you're responding to email in the middle of the night when you really should not be responding to your clients, then you need to make a boundary in your business. You need to say, I'm only going to be responding to client emails between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. or whatever your work hours are. And then you need to tell your clients that. You need to send them an email and say, these are my new business hours. And if you don't hear from me outside of these business hours, it is because it is outside of my business hours. I will get back to you when I am in the office. Set the boundaries, be very, very clear with yourself, with your employees, with any assistants or contractors, and also with your clients. You have to tell them what the boundaries are in order for them to understand and respect them. Now, if you found this video helpful, I would love it if you would hit subscribe and make sure you click that little bell icon so you get notified as soon as I have another video. Below this video, I would love it if you would leave me a comment and let me know what boundaries you need to set in your business, or if you've already set boundaries, what ones have had the biggest impact. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. And I want you to be very I just totally lost that word.